Today, I'm going to talk to you about some of the most challenging leadership problems I had, how I solved them, and the one book behind it. No matter where you are in your leadership journey, if you're an aspiring leader, if you're a new manager, if you're a seasoned leader, there is a book in this video series that's going to help you to boost your leadership skills to the next level. And I stick to the end because I'm going to tell you about the most thoughtful gift that you can give to your own leader this holiday season. If you're an aspiring leader and you've been trying so hard to get to that next level with no luck, this book might be your answer. When I read this book, which is really focused on saying you don't follow your passion and hope for the best, instead, focus on your skill set. Identify what are those valuable and rare skill set wherever you are, and then go deep and master those. Basically, that will turn you to become rare and irreplaceable in the organization. So what I focused on at the time was I wanted to show my leadership potential, and I wanted to train my colleagues to basically be able to do what I was doing. And even though it sounds a bit contradictory, because then how would that make me irreplaceable if other people can do what I do as well? But at the same time, that practice of spending time, carving time out of my super busy schedule and train others showed leadership, that I have leadership potential, I have coaching potential, and that's what moved me to the next level. In most companies, being right is not going to give you that budget, that project, or that promotion. What actually moves things forward is your ability to influence people. And what really this book helped me more than anything is to learn how to bring a stakeholder alignment, how to influence when I have no authority. Early in my days, I used to come up with great ideas, and I would do my research, I would engage industry experts. So I knew that this is the best idea at that time to move things, especially from a strategic point of view. But what I wouldn't do is to engage all stakeholders, because I was really feared of the resistance, and I didn't have the tools and techniques at the time to be able to know how to navigate those resistance that naturally comes with a stakeholder engagement. When I read this book and I learned about tactical empathy, mirroring, labeling, all of those good things, I started to engage all my stakeholders. And of course, they would ask tough questions, they would resist to the ideas, but I would show that I'm genuinely hearing them out and listening to their feedback by leveraging those specific techniques that I learned through this book, which really helped me now to be able to bring everyone together, get alignment, and move things forward without that after the fact bitterness that comes if you don't engage your stakeholders timely. If you're a new manager, first of all, congratulations. It's such a rewarding role to be in the position to hopefully impact people around you in such a positive way. The book that I always encourage my senior managers and my managers to read, and I also suggest it to everyone else who's new in management, is Radical Candor. Basically, the core message of this book is that you need to care deeply about your team, which most of good leaders do. However, you also have to equally challenge the team directly so then the team can identify their shortcomings and their areas of improvement and have that chance to work through them. The first part of the book focuses really on templates and different examples to have those difficult conversations. The second half of the book really is your shortcut to, instead of going through years and years of experience and try and error to learn how to do basic management, it gives you systems and templates how to do them right away. So as an example, how to run your weekly meeting, what's the agenda, who to engage, what are the action plans after. Like, it has specific items and systems for every part of your leadership role that's really going to boost your experience. Now, if you're a seasoned leader, my favorite books to read are, one of them is Effective Executive, and I specifically read this one every time I move to a new role. What I really like about this book is it kind of reminds me every time of the basics of a strategy and putting a framework together, but also it reminds me that, especially if you're new in the role, or if it's new year and there are lots of new items coming your way, to pause and really review all of them and decide on one thing, just one item that you want to really take on yourself and go deep. The rest of the projects you should delegate to your leads and your managers and your directors. Now, another great book, if you're a seasoned leader, is Think Again by Adam Grant. And again, it's another Adam Grant book when the whole flow of the book is so enjoyable that you don't want to put the book down, and it makes it a great book for during holidays. If you're going on vacation, it's such an enjoyable book to read. And the whole core message of this book is to remind us, as we become more and more SME, we start having those blind spots when we know something or we think that we know something is right, and we start justifying it for the teams, showing the data in a way that the teams are more aligned to it and convinced to agree to it. And so that's when you are becoming a preacher. And it reminds us to move back to that being a scientist and ask the teams, especially our own team, what is it that I don't see in this idea? How can we fail? And try to understand the risks and the things that you didn't see. Now, to be able to do that successfully, though, you have to have two foundations. The first one is that you need to have a balanced team of people who are, some of them are super innovative, coming up with great ideas, and some other who are more analytical and risk averse, and they would be able to see the risk in different ideas. So then at the end of the day, you can really look at the benefits and the risk and make the best decision. The other foundation is that you really need to build a team that have psychological safety to speak up. The most thoughtful gift that you can give to your boss is a book. But when it comes to books, you want to be careful to not send mixed messages to your boss. So as an example, don't buy a book that has the title of How to Be a Better Manager. My favorite book to give as a gift is The Undoing Project. I bought that before one of my vacations, and I finished it completely throughout my vacation, even though it's a pretty big book. Basically, this book is the story of two psychologists that are walking us through different biases that we have, the brain shortcuts, everything that we do wrong when it comes to decision making, and they're absolutely were required 1,000 years ago for human survival, but we don't really need them to them. It's full of those moments of wow and surprises when you learn something about yourself and about how the human brain really works. And if you want to leverage this winter holiday slowdown, make sure to watch my next video on Winter Arc for Leaders, when I go through different templates and a whole 90-day plan on how to be the best version of yourself.